I always think that the amount and the deliciousness of the food served is indirectly proportional to the number of questions asked. And I'm right. So today is not as, I don't think it's as delicious as the other days. And the quantity is not as much as the other day. The other day I got only of 4, and today I got this much. So I'm going to tell the chef. So this is an indication of the deliciousness of the food and the amount. Anyway, let me answer these questions. Venerable, you spend so much time and money to build this fabulous temple and monastery. Are you not attached to it? Well, can I take this temple with me when I die? Certainly I cannot. And building a temple, are you not attached to it? Building a temple is not to attach to it. Building a temple is to promote the Buddha's way of thinking, the Buddha's way of living, and is to convey a message. Building a temple is like a mission that, if you draw an analogy, it will like building that's not a good analogy, but still an analogy that we can use. You build a hospital. You build a hospital in a land where there's a lot of sick people. You build a hospital there. If this is a country, it's a city with a lot of sick people, or in the interior part of Africa, Albert Schweitzer. He went into the interior part of Africa and he built a temple, not a temple, a hospital, and he spent a lot of money. He went back to England and performed concerto and you know, to raise fund for it. He worked at it, he built it, and he developed it, and he also hired people and nurses and all over the place to do this temple. Is that an attachment? Did he attach to it? He had this mission of trying to help the natives in the interior part of Africa. He built a hospital, and his mission is to cure the disease, to help these poor natives. And he didn't attach to it. It's the same analogy. A hospital saved lives, one lifetime. But a temple saves eternal life. If a person gets sick, he goes to a hospital and he got cured, you know, he get well again, you save his life. But you may not have saved his wisdom life. If he came into the hospital as a selfish, egoistic individual, he went out the same. He's got health again, he's healthier again. He was extremely sick and he was going to die. He goes to a hospital and he got cured, comes out. He goes in egoistically and very selfish and he go out again, the same. But in the temple, it's a little different. The temple cure not just the physical body, the mental body, the mentality that affects the eternal life. Because if it's not cured in this life, as far as his mentality life is concerned, his wisdom, he would reincarnate into the next life. Reincarnate again and again and again. If during the process of reincarnation is performing bad deeds of what? Stealing, killing, committing all crimes and committing all immoral actions, then he will be in the loop of reincarnation again. So, the difference between building a hospital and building a temple is that temple saves eternal life. It saves mental sickness. It saves life eternally. You never have to get back to reincarnation again. No more suffering for him. Not to mention just suffering of certain sickness, but the hospital only cures the short-term, one-time deal. So you see the difference? So, Venerable spent a lot of money and to build this fabulous temple and monastery, are you not attached to it? You can say I attach only to the mission of building it. I don't attach to the material or the wealth or the reputation or the grandeur of it. I just attach to that is something I should do. I have a responsibility to fulfill. I have a mission to achieve. It's just like when Albert Schweitzer had that mission to save the Africans, he went into that interior part, the poorest part of the section of the country. We all like to be adventurous. We like to explore. We explore into no man's land. No man would explore that. We go in there. We try to render compassion. We try to help. 30 years ago when I came to Vancouver, there isn't a temple. No temple. No Buddhist temple, except for one on 49th Street. That is a modified church. And then we say, oh, we're going to have this mission to fulfill. Yes, we're attached, but not attached to the material. We're attached to, if you want to call it attachment, there's not an attachment. That is an objective, a mission to save. And once that mission is achieved, no attachment anymore. We achieve this. By the time when we have to go, we'll make sure that somebody else, or we'll make sure that the younger generation will be so trained to carry on the mission, and then we can go peacefully. But not a trace of attachment, not a penny that we will take. We can't take even a penny with me when I died, or when we died. Can you take all your possessions when you died? Can you take anything with you when you died? You can't. So why are you attaching to your purse now? Why are you attaching to your jewelries, your apartment, your possessions? Well, it's okay that you earn your money, but sometimes if you do it by all means, sometimes illegally, to acquire the money, to achieve certain things, to acquire certain things, then you are committing bad karma. And bad karma will get you into the loop, into the mishap of reincarnation. So if you ask me, are you not attached to it? No, I'm not attached to it. I had a mission to fulfill. And fortunately, I fulfilled that mission. And they said, you spend so much time and money. That's not my money. That's my time. The money comes from everywhere. I believe that if you have a good mission, somehow you will have that wisdom to accomplish it. And when I first came into BC in Vancouver, I didn't have any money to build any temple. What I got is a little bit of time, and then we gather all this energy together, gather all this money, all this fun, and over the 30 years, we'll build a fantastic temple. Yes, because people appreciate the temple. It's become one of it's even become a tourist attraction of Richmond. Not to say it's religious connotation, it's spiritual connotation, which is quite helpful to people in the Lower Mainland. Not only that, all across the nation, all across Canada, they all know about this temple. So I don't attach to it. I have a mission to accomplish it, and I have a mission to maintain it, and I have the mission that when I'm still living, I want to carry on the mission without taking a rest. The mission is fulfilled. I built this temple, but somebody say that's the time when I should go on holidays. But well, going on holiday, it's not as happy as carrying out the mission. You have to find joy in what you're doing. To some people, being a volunteer in hospice care is extremely yucky. You know, who wants to hold the hands of a dying patient? For some people, he's compassionate. He wants to hold hands of a dying person and comfort him or her to make her pass away peacefully. That's the difference in karma. That's the difference in outlook. That's the difference in personality. Who would like to look at a dying person? It scares me. I want to get away from him. But there are people who like to help dying people. So, I think I already spent 10 minutes for this question. I don't want to carry on, and I have a problem of linger on a question, thinking that my answer is not satisfactory enough. I'm always looking for the perfection in answering question. That's my problem. So I'm not going to attach to that idea. Okay. We should not, Venerable, we should not get attached to sight, smell, hearing, touch, etc. So are you saying, I'm only guessing the question, are you saying that when we're attached to sight, smell, sound, and hearing, then also says that we don't attach to the Dharma? Oh, do you know what the meaning of Dharma is? You have to know what's the definition of Dharma. Not attached to the Dharma. Dharma has two meanings. Dharma means, from the perspective of Mano Vijnana, the sixth mind. Remember, we have 8 consciousnesses. The first consciousness is smell consciousness, touch, hearing, tasting, seeing. The Mano consciousness interact with dharmas. What is Dharma? Dharma is all objects, including invisible objects, including images of the mind. So this Dharma actually is a comprehensive term which embraces of everything in the universe. Not just objects, sound and smell and taste and touch. It attaches to images of the past, also the visions of the future too. So all that is Dharma. There's one definition of Dharma, one meaning of Dharma. The other meaning of Dharma is the Buddhist teaching. So of course you should not attach to the Dharma. If you in your dream you create certain images and you dream on it, are you going to attach to that? That's fictitious. That's in your dream only. But in your dream you do attach to it. You attach to the happiness in the dream, the sadness in the dream. If you're sad in the dream, you cry. When you wake up, you still feel tears in your eyes. And if you're happy, you have that. You feel joyful when you wake up too. So you're attached. You're attached to your dreams. But even in the Buddhist teaching is just like a raft, a boat that get you from this shore of confusion to that shore of enlightenment. That's about the Dharma, the Buddhist teaching. And once you get to that shore of enlightenment, of nirvana, you have to get off the boat. Don't attach to that Dharma anymore. Just a means to get you to Victoria, Nanaimo. You go to Nanaimo and you take the boat, the ship, the ferry. You get onto the ferry, to Nanaimo ferry, and you get to Victoria. You got to leave the ferry to put your foot on shore to get to the Victoria Parliament. If you say, I'm not going to go, I'm going to attach to the ferry, then you cannot attach to the ferry, otherwise you can't go on shore. So you don't attach to any Dharma. But you need the ferry. As far as the Buddhist teaching is concerned, you need the raft, the ferry. But all this in your dreams, all these other Dharmas in relationship to the sixth consciousness, the Mano consciousness, you don't need them. Your dream, you detach them. You don't attach to it. Your greediness, your hatred, your jealousy, your anxiety, your depression, all those things are dharmas. Whether they are matter, sound, smell, touch, or just images, or just memoirs of the past, memories, or just memory, unforgettable, even unforgettable memories. You don't attach to them. Unforgettable because you are not attached to them. So you don't attach to any Dharma. I don't know if I answered that question well, but that is it for now. I understand that, why in Christianity they only believe once when people die, there's nothing left. No sense, no next life. Why? In other words, what it says here in this question is Christianity believe in only one life. After that person die, no more left. That's what he said in here. And I think that's what the religion usually explains to people. I believe also Jesus Christ I think he was like a Buddha, but they think Buddhism is forced religion. Well, I think Christianity is good religion. It's not forced religion, it's a religion. We're acceptable to all religions because all these roads are leading to Rome. There's so many roads leading to Rome, not just one road. And if the other road is longer, I'm not going to blame it. I'm not going to block it up. I'm not going to criticize it. I'm just saying that, oh, this is the road suitable for you. Because you like the scenery on its way. That scenery is faced to the ocean. The scenery is faced to the Rocky Mountains. You like the mountains more than the ocean? You go to the Rocky Mountain way. You like the ship better? You go to the sea. I can't say, you hate the sea and take the Rocky. Do you do that? No. So, I think all religions, if they are really teaching humanity, kindness, compassion, elimination of ego, they're good religion. They're as good. Why do we have to criticize them and think they are forced, but fictitious? That's to answer the latter part of the question. So you know that when next time when you go to Rome, not more than just one route. There's so many flights going there. Not just one flight. And when you go to Rome, they even allow you to throw not only one coin in the fountain, three. 3 coins in the fountain. Each one is looking for happiness. You see how there's so many roads leading to Rome? Even coins you throw in the fountain, they allow you 3. Meaning variety. Which one with the fountain blessed? We don't know. It's Christianity, they only believe in one life. We can talk about that. You believe that we only have this discrete one life and nothing left? You come to think about it. The whole universe is, if we can say, what is this universe made up of? This universe is characterized by space and time, right? Space. The universe is space and time. Space is a horizontal perspective. You are in space. This is in space. Material in space. Space would include everything in there. Molecules, protons, electrons, humans, animals, plants, landscape, buildings, you name it. Everything in space. So universe is space, the space dimensions. If we can narrow down the universe to 2 dimensions, we say dimensions of space and dimensions of time, right? Space is all-inclusive. That is a horizontal perspective of the universe. And what is the vertical perspective? That's the time dimensions. The time dimensions includes 3 dimensions by itself. The present, the past, and the future. That's time, right? What is time? Time makes up of the past, the present, and the future. Anyone more? You tell me if there's more than that. The past, the present, and the future. So there's not just the present life. Our perspective of time is, as far as one individual is concerned, the present is now. I'm talking now. And my past is what? Yesterday? 2 days ago? 3 days ago? And my very remote past? 6 years ago? 10 years ago? And the very beginning of my past when I was born. As far as the narrow mind of an individual, the time when I was born, that's my past. My present is now, and my future, I don't know. There's a future tomorrow, the next day tomorrow. That is only a very narrow-minded perspective of time. The Buddha said, the past, the present, and the future, not of just this one life. You come to think of it. Time is a continuity. How can there be just one discrete unit and no more past? Now, if there's no more past life, What is this life coming from? You imagine. You suddenly were born? How can you explain continuity of life if you just born? But the Buddha said you have a previous life and you get into this one. It's just like the light bulb. The one light bulb is one lifetime. But that light bulb goes out. It burns. Then you change, the form burns, you change another light bulb to it. There's another life. The third light bulb, fourth light bulb, there's one thing that does not change in there. What is that? The electricity. That electricity carries on. The continuity of it carries on. And you and your religion say that there's no electricity. The brightness comes from the bulb. No, the brightness, bulb is just the form, the medium of the brightness. That is a continuity, an eternal continuity of electric current. Did you see that? Sure, you can see it, but you can't deny it. And you're saying, no, I'm just this one light bulb. When this light bulb burns out, it's similar to I'm dead. But there's another light bulb going up in another form. You're Jeanette in this life. This light bulb is called Jeanette. When Jeanette is dead, that light bulb, you change to Joan. Get another Joan in there. So your form change. But your eternal life carries on. That carries on every life. Just this example will be sufficient to explain it to you, not just one light bulb. There's so many light bulbs. Not just one lifetime, you have a previous life. And how good is this life? What is your destiny in this life? Depends on what you have done in your previous life. That's what we call karma. What kind of karma you created for your future life? If you're not enlightened, if you still have to go back to the loop of reincarnation, you still carry this karma to the next life. And if you ask me, what will I become of in my next life? I'm going to counter-ask you a question. What did you do in this lifetime? If this lifetime you're compassionate, you're helpful, you're responsible, you're only doing good deeds, no bad deeds, you could be qualified for going to heaven, to enjoy extreme happiness in there. And not into the victims of hell, not as animals ram. But the Buddha said heaven is not the ultimate objective. Because after you enjoy all your happiness, after you get all this, we call it the payment of your own karma, the what do you call that? The retribution. The retribution, you get the retribution of this karma, you enjoy all the happiness, and when the time is due, you still have to get back to the loop to come back again to other reincarnation. So, I remember 2 years ago when I was lecturing at the Hong Kong Poly University, the principal, the headmaster in there, he believes in Buddhism. And I once asked him a question, how come you get started to be interested in Buddhism? Because he's actually lecturing and teaching. He's a scientist, a very famous scientist. He's the principal of the university, the president of the university. And he said, I'm a scientist, I study science. I always look at equity, I look at fairness. When I look at Buddhism, I think it is fair, he said. If someone passed away and there's no next life, it's not fair. Why? Because if I did a lot of bad things in this life, I kill, I lie, I commit sexual misconduct, I don't have to be responsible for it. In my next life, I'm dead anyway, so I can be a criminal. As long as I like it, I can kill, I can do anything I want because there's no karma. There's no causality. The karma will not be carried back, will be carried to the next life, so there's no causality. There's no cause and effect. How can you deny cause and effect? If you don't believe in the continuation of life, if you only believe in one life, you are cutting off the understanding of cause and effect. Because if you did something wrong in here, in this life, You won't get the karma because you won't appear again. So that's a very dangerous concept. That's the concept of the criminals. I do what I want as long as I'm happy. I can kill, I can rape, I can do whatever I want because I only have this life. As long as it satisfies my senses, I'm okay. But things are not like that. Because if you do create any bad karma, you carry it to your next life. You suffer yourself. You're responsible for your own action. You're responsible for your behavior, for your own thought, for your speech. So this president told me that's the main reason I'm interested in Buddhism. Because it's fair. Otherwise, it's not fair. For someone who did bad things, what's going to happen to him? Nothing. And it also explains a lot of differences in destinies. How come people are born rich? Some people are poor, some people are healthy, some people are handsome, some people are ugly, some people are kind, some people are unkind. That's because of your destiny, and that's because of your own karma that you have created. You created your own education, you created your own background, you reveal your own wisdom. And this continuity, past, present, and future, connotates one very important concept, causality. This question, I can go on. I already spent half an hour on it. No. So, is it satisfactory enough for you? If you have just one life, you cut off the current. You don't recognize the electric current. You only recognize that bulb. You only see things on its superficial meaning. You don't dig deep into it. And it's not fair. How can you explain differences in destinies? But your religion is a good religion, though. Because finally you will get to that destination. Because you like to take the longer route. You want to go by the sea. And somehow you enjoy the breeze. And you also enjoy the stormy weather, though. The waves, the ups and downs. Okay, this is a Chinese question. 请问师父，戏剧寄语是什么? The question asks is, what is the four-line stanzas as expounded in the text that we just mentioned? There's so many four-line stanzas in there. I'll tell you which ones. But the four-line stanzas is just a specific denotation of it. Any meaning in there that contains the meaning of the four-line stanzas will be sufficient. If you explain that to other people, the merits will be tremendous, will be even more, even as great as more than the merits obtained by donating as much as the sands of the Ganges River, that much. In Buddhism, the concept of reincarnation is very important. Where does it come from? Why is it so important? How can Buddhism be so about reincarnation, be so sure about reincarnation? Now, I already have explained the first part of your question. The one I'm interested in, how can we be so sure about reincarnation? How can we be so sure about reincarnation? In other words, how can we believe in reincarnation? How do we believe it? How do we know that there was a previous life and the next life? There's so many ways. As I said, how do you believe in things? When you believe in something, there's so many ways to believe in it. And let's not talk in terms of the philosophical concept. Let's say there's so many people born with ingenuities. They're geniuses. Some 5-year-old born with playing the piano and Bach or Beethoven, at the age of 9 could compose music. He brought his genius from previous life. And some people even remember previous life experience. That happens. There's been studied for 100 years by the Western scholars, and the most significant of whom is Anderson. You search into the internet, Anderson. He conducted thousands of reincarnation cases. I think it's Anderson. You check in the internet for reincarnation, you got so much literature about proofs for reincarnation. I don't have to go through it here. The most significant of which is Anderson's. He spent 60, 50 years in studying cases of reincarnation. He stationed in India for 20 years to study a lot of cases about reincarnation. And you can research into it. So how can you be so sure about reincarnation? Well, that's the source. There is a passage in the Sutra of the 42 sections that discusses the relative merits of giving alms to various kinds of beings. It states in particular that to give alms to 100 million Buddhas is not as good as giving alms to a single person who does nothing, thinks nothing, practices nothing, and manifests nothing. What does this mean? Now, first of all, I really have to go back to the 42 sections to find out whether you've got the accurate information. Because those who does nothing, thinks nothing, practices nothing, and manifests nothing, philosophically clings to nothing, that means nothing is acquired, no attachment, that's Buddha. So how can you contradict yourself by saying that giving alms to Buddha is not as giving alms to a single person who is the Buddha? I mean, this is contradiction. So we really have to check it out. But I think what it emphasizes, giving alms to a person who is enlightened has a lot of merits. And if you give alms to someone who is not enlightened, of course, it's giving alms to someone who is enlightened has more merits than giving alms to people who are not enlightened. But Buddhas are enlightened. How come we say that giving to Buddha, 100 million Buddha, is not as good as giving alms to a single person who does nothing, thinks nothing, practices nothing, and manifests nothing? What does this mean? Simply, it means that it's not quantity that counts. It's non-attachment that counts. Nothing is acquired, nothing to be obtained. When there's nothing to be obtained, no greediness, you're approaching to purity. Okay, next, I can understand lay people reach Buddha mind, or do they have to become monk nun to stop reincarnation? Well, to stop reincarnation, it does not matter whether you're a monk or whether you are whether you are a layman or a Sangha member. As a Sangha member, I'm a monk. If I don't practice, if I don't get enlightened, if I do bad deeds, I would never get out from reincarnation. You're a layman, but you practice better than me, you'll be away from reincarnation. I would be submerging in life and death for a long time. So it does not matter whether I wear this robe that I qualify as a monk, then I will be better than you. No. It's your practice that counts. It's the practice that counts. But being in the Sangha order, the environment, the practice is much more intensive. I tend to be easier to succeed nirvana than you do. Because you're a layman, you're always with your family, you're attached to love, you're attached to wealth, food, reputation, money. You don't have time to practice. But in this environment, it's easier for us to detach. It's easier for us to build up merits. Easier than you. Because you will go home, when you go home, you watch television. When you go home, you speak over the phone for 1 or 2 hours, chit-chatting, sometimes gossiping. And you go from one temple to another. In the morning, you go to temple A, in the afternoon to temple B, in the evening, you go to temple C. You're like a rolling stone that gathers no moss. So you try out different centers, and you want to rely on God, Buddha, Bodhisattva. You rely on everybody who's powerful. So that at the juncture of urgency, you call all of them to come to help you. You call Buddha, you call Jesus, you call, all of them. You feel it's better, safer to do it that way. So it does not matter whether you're a monk or nun or a layman. Reincarnation practice is the most important. Arya Avalokiteshvara said he won't rest until everyone is saved. So really, in effect, if we get out of time, space, everyone is saved. Until everyone is, he said he won't rest until everyone is saved. Now, those who have the seed, who have cultivated the seed of enlightenment will be saved. But those who haven't got the seed of enlightenment, we don't know when he will be saved. But if we extrapolate logically, if there's always people who, the Bodhisattva and Bodhisattvas always come for saving, finally I think people will be saved. But it takes a long time for people who don't understand, who don't have the seeds. So building a temple is to cultivate these seeds. Whenever you enter the temple, you see all this, you listen to the Dharma, you know the Buddha's teaching, then a seed is planted in you. Seed does not mean the real fruit, the seed. Seed means the energy, the memory that is implanted in your mind. The energy, because whenever you see, everything I touch, everything I come into contact with would be in my consciousness, in my computer. It's key in the keyboard into my memory. So building a temple or calling them to come for a vegetarian meal would have that seed of reincarnation, of enlightenment. That would, when the time comes, when fertilizers, when the sunlight comes, it would sprout. It would sprout into fruits. So everyone will be saved. For some who don't listen or who continue to commit bad karma, it takes a long time. There will be a long time of suffering for him or her. So it's better to be earlier. I understand that in Pure Land practice, one must cultivate faith, vow, and practice. How do I strengthen my faith without it being blind faith, and it's the faith that is to be developed, the faith that Amitabha Buddha exists, that this Pure Land exists, and that I can go there with vows and practicing Buddha name recitation. How do I strengthen my faith? You already said it. But if you ask this question, I don't think you have really the good faith. You're still doubt and you're still suspicious. A faith is you believe in, I'll be reborn in there, in the Pure Land. I will have faith and I continue to practice. So this question, it takes a time to answer it. You keep on the faith. It's not blind faith. If you think that believing in the Pure Land is blind faith, you didn't understand it enough. You really have to dig deeper into it. If you understand Chinese, then you come to listen to I have a lecture on Wang Sheng Lun, a lecture. I have a lecture in Chinese. I don't know who asked this. Probably, I don't know. So you have to come and listen to lectures. As a monk or nun, or for people who take the 5 precepts, are you allowed to take remedies with a little bit of alcohol? Yes. If it's just medicine, yes, you can do it. Because if you don't take the medicine, you're not going to heal. This body is not going to heal. You can practice. And in some situation, if you don't take medicine, you will die. And when you die, you can't even practice. So what's the point of not taking it? So you can take it, for sure. You can take it. These words are so small. Is the total number of sentient beings existing a fixed number? Well, answer that question first. Is the total in the whole universe, the total number of sentient beings, which include all microorganisms, insects, worms, and everything, all the sentient beings, is there a fixed number? Interesting question. Is there a fixed number? If I say there's no fixed number, then you say, how come there's no fixed number? If I say yes, that is 100,000 billion .21624. You're not going to prove it. Prove I'm wrong. Are you happy then? Oh yeah, the reverend said, yeah, that is 1,256 million, 0.124567891 Oh, that's the figure. I'm satisfied as long as I'm giving a figure. What's the point of that number? That number has no point at all. I can give you a number if you really want a number. If not, if there's no number, then this must mean that consciousness is either perceptually arising or perpetually disintegrating, because all sentient beings have consciousness. Well, I don't know what logic you follow from a fixed number or not having a fixed number. What you're saying is actually you need some explanation in the middle, that if there's a fixed number, then the reincarnation, how does the reincarnation work? First of all, the number is uncountable. We don't know the number. There's so many. And we don't have just this universe. There's other universes. This is one of the millions of universes. And their sentient beings can come here, and their sentient being reincarnate here, we can reincarnate there. It's so intricate. The number, you can't identify the number. There's so many universes in this world. As I said, there's no point in giving the number. As far as the number of sentient beings reincarnated, we can't trace it because it's uncountable, immeasurable. And I have answered all those questions, and let's call an end to this session.